Yesterday, my wife and I were discussing secrets of being married for 25 years. Seems to boil down to a few things, and I'm sure my wife, who is within earshot, will add her delightful comments along the way as well. Number one thing is pick someone out before you get married who you really enjoy spending time with. Actually enjoy spending time with, not just spend time. And there's a certain chemistry involved with actually being attracted to someone beyond just the lust patterns where having conversations an absolute delight also. So communication, chemistry, charisma can be kind of helpful too to complete the C trio. Also, in our case, the other bigger C goes down to Jesus Christ and believe in salvation through the saving work of Jesus Christ. And not just believing that, but actually being in the Word on a regular basis, praying together, fellowship with similarly believing Christians, especially at church, and activities. Susie is a professional singer, so she was asked to put on a show for the church for a particular event and really enjoyed doing that. Hired some of her fellow musicians, band members, and they put on a rollicking, wonderful show. Then one of the fellows at the church, who's very talented with taking pictures, came out with an ingenious way to get people their picture taken. Everybody in a red shirt, line up. Everybody in a blue shirt, line up. Everybody in a blue dress, line up. So called out various colors and got just about everybody to be in a picture or two. Just a fantastic event. So enjoying the pleasure of each other's company on one of those big C's is very, 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 very helpful. Staying in focus, much like this camera, to actually be awake and aware of what the other person actually needs. For instance, yesterday we were in Carmel-by-the-Sea, walking about. And after about 2.5 hours of walking and shopping, I'll call it a mall walk, and one of us trying on and deciding to buy a particular sport jacket and then having it altered so it would fit. My darling wife, Susie, said, "I am tired. I need a break." And I could not agree more. We both needed a break. She was just the first one to mention it out loud because my back hurt walking up and down hills just as much as her back walking up and down hills. So I found a bench, sat for a while, eventually made it back to our delightful room in a boutique hotel, a Carmel-by-the-Sea, and just basically caught a break and a rest. And then later on in the day, when it was time to go visit the lobby at this particular hotel, we did that. Talked to the manager and took a walk to a place called, which I keep wanting to call Grassings, but it's really Gracings, and had a fabulous dinner. In my case, a wonderful steak. And Susie had some salmon. I think she might have finished that this morning too with her breakfast or not. And in terms of seafood, we've discovered at least 2 different places at Carmel-by-the-Sea that cooking salmon the way Susie likes it is just not possible. I'll tell you a funny story on that. Once Susie and I were in San Diego years ago at a convention, and we got in a cab, taxi back then, and we said to a guy, "Where's a good place to have fish?" Unbelievably, in San Diego, this particular fellow was a New York cab driver. He said, "Have you been to Boston?" "Yes." "Have you been to New York?" "Yes." He said, "You won't like it here." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, it's on how to cook fish." We thought he was just being kind of sarcastic. We went to several restaurants, and we discovered that they really couldn't cook fish. Susie likes it prepared a certain way, and for whatever reason, the chefs there just couldn't quite get that done, which is a pity. So, helpful hints. 1, know your spouse in terms of their likes and dislikes, their wants and needs. Communication, chemistry, similar belief system, absolutely essential. And if you both enjoy good health and physical fitness, that is really helpful too. Because if you have one person who enjoys exercising and eating properly and one person who does not, that could be a real problem. Although I commonly see couples who seem like an odd match in terms of one being in shape and one not being in shape, having a sense of humor is absolutely positively essential also when it comes to, no kidding, a long-standing relationship. One of the other underlying principles of staying married and staying engaged in it is to never giving up hope and always being engaged in exploring what the other person needs and wants and desires and seeing if we cannot provide that for the person efficiently, effectively, and most importantly, joyously. So getting somebody a cup of coffee in the morning, if it's a duty, would not be fun. But if it's a joy to get to provide service, it is a great joy. And in me personally, when I was dating years ago, when I was a widower, I ran into my darling, financially responsible, gifted, talented, and gorgeous wife, Susie, and she said, if you're looking for someone who cooks, keep dating, because I don't cook. And I jokingly said, "Oh, that's okay. I'm Italian. I love to cook." But I must admit, Susie actually can cook and has cooked and does a wonderful job with the things she enjoys cooking. And she does a great job taking cottage cheese and various other things and making wonderful protein enriched and enriching dishes for herself and for me occasionally as well. We have not taken up baking, although we've discovered in Carmel-by-the-Sea, God bless America, there are some people who really and truly make some of the best cookies we've ever tasted in our entire life, which is one of the reasons why after having breakfast, I took a walk up and down some hills and around some hills to help my digestion flow, habit I learned a long time ago from Mr. Conley, to after you eat, go take a constitutional, a short, happy walk. And if you're lucky enough to be surrounded by beautiful surroundings, beautiful fauna, beautiful things to see, it is a great joy not only to be active, but actually be entertained by the gorgeous scenery around you. And flowers seem to flourish in Carmel-by-the-Sea. So, number one, honest to goodness, you have to have chemistry with your partner. Number two, good communication, so you understand back and forth. And I read just this morning something about a widow who suddenly flourished after she became a widow. Started doing all kinds of things. And the underscore in that particular article was, you don't have to get permission. You need to go ahead and realize that the permission actually comes from what you're doing. So find out what your spouse wants. See if you can't get it for them. See if you can't both enjoy that at the same time. If one of you loves to scuba dive and the other one loves to go to the beach, perhaps getting the other person a beach umbrella or a cabana or an air-conditioned viewpoint where they can go see the beach without being pummeled by sand in the wind, not to mention the heat or the sun. So have fun, be well. This is John Checki, co-founder of Checki Financial. And I urge you to enjoy this video, to share the video, to like the video, and as almost everybody who's on YouTube says, would you mind terribly subscribing to the video? Because we always enjoy communicating with subscribers, hearing their questions, answering their questions, responding to their needs, and responding to their inquiries so we can help you have fun and still have money. Again, have fun, be well, happy today to you, and an even more pleasant tomorrow.